easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years?
Well, I've been standing with you. I've been right here with you, Troy. I got a life too. I got 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you. Don't you think I ever wanted other things? Don't you think I had dreams and hope? What about my life? What about me? Don't you think I ever crossed my mind to want to know other men? That I wanted to lay up somewhere and forget about my responsibilities? That I wanted someone to make me laugh so I could feel good? You're not the only one who's got wants and needs, but I held on to you, Troy. I took all my feelings, my wants and needs and dreams, and I buried them inside you. I planted a seed and watched and prayed over. I planted myself inside you and waited to bloom. It didn't take me no 18 years to realize the soil was hard and rocky and it was never gonna bloom. But I held on to you, Troy. I held you tighter. You was my husband. Because that's the only way I was gonna survive as your wife.
Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lesego M, Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy. Listen, on this week's episode, we're talking Woman Crush Wednesday. So I'm going to give you a story as to why this particular Woman Crush Wednesday for me is very special and it's so close to my heart. And it's actually two for me for this episode. There's two. I looked deep into it and I was like, yeah, I think these are the two that stood out for me. And there's a bit of a backstory behind it, and we'll get to talk about it later on in the show. So the song of the day is Ithuba by Dem Tudor, the musical chef. And Emo was also featured on the song. Quish SA was also featured on the song. On Spotify, let's speak about Spotify. The song is 6 minutes long, not of 6 minutes. I'm not sure, not of 6 minutes. So on Spotify, it's currently sitting at 1.7 million. Let's just put it that way. So I don't mess any of these numbers up, right? So yeah. So as I said, when I came through with it, it's Wednesday Crush Woman, Wednesday Crush Wednesday, whatever that is. So I'd like to talk about two ladies. The first one is actually is LEBOHANG, and I'll give you a story behind that. The second one is VIOLA Davis, right? Let me give you a context of why I say LEBOHANG is the first option for me. So back then, rest in peace to my mom. Rest in peace to her. So back then in the day, went to school. This is, by the way, me giving you the behind the story as well. I'm giving you the context, the story behind. So went to school long time ago. I don't have the time frame of when this happened, but I do have memories of like everything, but I just can't put in like the time and So for people who knew that LEBOHANG is a poet, right? LEBOHANG is a poet, and her work was also a part of a show in TV. I think it's Latitude back in the day. It was playing around 6:30. It was playing around 6:30 in the afternoon. Same time as Skim Sam. I don't know what time Skim Sam plays, but I think it's the same time as Skim Sam later on in the afternoon. Yeah. So my mom, she was working somewhere in Melrose Arc, in the CNA in Melrose Arc. So came back from school. Dad is not in the picture. So come back from school. I'm the only child. Come back from school. Come back from school. Open the crib. Get in the crib, and I'm hungry. There's a lady that I knew back then. His name is, I don't know if I should say the name, but what's the name? I think I forgot the name. But when we progress with the story, I hope I remember the name of the lady. Then I'll just let you know of the name of that lady. So she comes through, she pulls up, she's like, yo, your house is open, mine is locked. I can cook, you can't. So like she gets in there back when eggs were still cheap. Back when the eggs were still cheap, she pulls up there was eggs there for the month, budget, black parents, budget. So eggs are being cooked. She eats, I eat. She's not full at this point. I'm not full. She's like, I bet I'm going to cook you some more eggs. I'm going to cook us. I'm going to cook us some more eggs. So she stands up, cooks more eggs. Different pot. So different pots, she cooks more eggs. Eat. We both eat. We decide on, now it's just these things. She's like, let me experiment and teach you how to do some. Pulls out a new pot on the stove. Shows me how to cook those eggs. 4 pots now in the sink, including the 3 pots Cigarette I counted for. So it's like 4 pots. She's teaching me how to like do those eggs, whatever. Eggs, that time we are chopping 2, 3. And it's both of us. If we chop, it's 6. It's 4 when you chop 2. So the whole, I think we almost finished up the first tray. Like we were like, what had you done? The first tray of 30 eggs, I think it was got to done. It was got to finish. So yeah, back to the story. Yeah, my mom pulls up. I was supposed to wash the dishes because the agreement between me and that lady was that she was gonna cook and I was gonna be left with the dishes and I'll do them. So I kind of like spoke to say, listen, I think we both need to wash these dishes because we both ate in this house. Understand? She's like, I bet we'll both wash the dishes, but I just need to go home. It's later now, I think that then we used to come out of school around 2 and I'll be at home around 2:45 or 2:45, along those lines. So I didn't go to soccer practice another day. I didn't go to soccer practice on the day. I didn't go to soccer practice. Then what happens is she says, back in the story, she says, I'm just going to my house to put my stuff, change and do a bit of cleaning, then I'll come back, right? So she goes to her house, she doesn't come back. And I'm like, she's coming back. And I'm like, it's almost like what you call 4:30, 5 o'clock. I have to be in soccer practice. And I'm like, yeah, soccer practice, where is, I think her name, I know that the younger sister is Precious. I just forgot her, the bigger name, like the sister of the sister of Precious who I was with on the day. So it's like 4:30, she's not coming back, and I don't know. Ended up getting caught on the streets, playing one bar there. It's late now. The bus, but when they come back from work, it's like around 6, and it's that time. Mom is coming back. See her coming there, pull up plastics, go run, help her out. So she doesn't carry anything. I run to the crib, take those plastic into the house. Then, I wait and I'm like, they slept. I forgot to wash the dishes and it's oily in the stove. Ooh, she didn't come back. I forgot. I'm panicking. My mom comes into the crib. Oh, I've never seen her that angry, bro. I've never seen her that angry. She beat me up. That day. To a point where I even had like bruises, like blue. When you're blue. It was a Friday, I remember. It was a Friday because the following day we didn't go to school and my friends were laughing me that I allowed a chick to come into the house, cook for me, and I was doing like fat and sad, whatever, because I was also showing my friends those bruises at the time to say, because they also like, then we never had like walls, like when the neighborhood, particularly in Stormy at the time, so the neighborhood was still fresh and everything. So we never had, the walls surrounding. So anybody that's passing on the streets, because it's upon the house as well. So anybody that's passing by on the streets, they can hear me. I'm getting a beating. And I'm getting it. Mom is beating me up. Eventually, we it's 6:30 in the afternoon. I get it. It's 6:30 in the afternoon. She's like, alright, I'm here. Like I beat him up too much. I was just do the dishes. She's angry because I didn't. She, by the way, she didn't get any beating. No mom's has consulted or anything. I was like responsible. He was ghost. I was leave you in the house, so I expect you to answer for anything that happens in the house, right? So featured the day I wasn't responsible. I was all over the place. So she was like, I felt guilty for beating me up. He did the dishes. She cooked. The show comes in on television. The Latitude. I think it's Latitude. I'm not sure of the name of the show. That's a long time ago. But I think people who know MASHILE and the poetry she used to do back in the day that know that this is a poem that she did on that show, that they paid her for, I think. So that comes on. I'm on the couch. She's cooking in the kitchen. She's cooking in the kitchen, and the show comes through. I tried to change, and I'm like, yo, I can't really change because this is like my mom's favorite show, right? And it comes through, and then that day I had to, because usually if it comes through, sometimes I might like change when she's at the kitchen and change back when she comes back. On that day I was like, yo, I can't do anything, right? So I had to sit through the entire show. Basically, I sat down the entire show, watched it. Boring as hell. I'm a kid. What do I know about like talk shows? Similar feel to what Kumbude Kaya was. You know what I mean? Similar feel to what Kumbude Kaya was at the time. I'm a kid. Like, I don't give a damn like what goes on. I'm so sorry for using that if it's a curse word. I'm so sorry for the young people that are listening. I don't know anything about this. I'm bored at this point. And usually at that time I'm like done showering, I'm done bathing at the time. I'm just seated and I'm angry. Me and her don't talk, and she also feels guilty for beating me up, right? So we just seated there. Lebo comes, and it was when it came through, I just have visuals of that. It was black and whitish, and it was on a beat. It had a bit of rhythm behind it, right? So it had a bit of rhythm, comes through, she does her thing, the poetry on top of the beat, boom, 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 the show starts, we watch the show, that's the story of LEBOHANG. So fast forward, now we watch this show. I'm growing up, because usually if I didn't go to soccer practice, like everybody who's from my era, like it's Dragon Ball Z all day, every day. Watch Dragon Ball Z, no doubt about that, so sometimes I go to football, so I'd watch Dragon Ball Z, come back, do ironing the shoe, because at the time I remember, I think I couldn't even read, so I had to like practice, because even my friend at the time, shout out to Vusisha Wenala, he wanted to be, like that dude always knew what he wanted to do in life, and the reason I also wanted to be at the earlier age, I also wanted to be a chartered accountant. It was because of him. He's like, yo, bro, like I want to be a chartered accountant. And I'm like, this guy, we like in something like the 4th, 5th grade, somewhere around there. She's like, I want to be a chartered. I didn't even know what a chartered accountant is, but because friendship, I love my friend. I want to be in the space where he is in. And a part of, let me tell you a story on top of the story, is that the part of the reasons that I had to, like when it's in New Year, you like trying to find your classes as young kids, or like, where is grade 2, grade 3? Now I was supposed to be in grade 3. Vusi was supposed to go in grade 1. Understand? So now I sacrificed. I was like, because my friend is here, I'm going with him to grade 1. That's why even when I matriculated 2 years later than what I was supposed to. I started right. I was on track, but on that moment, my mom couldn't be there. I think at the time she was also working in Protekland, the Charlotte Protekland shows. She couldn't be there, so some of the things I had to be independent and like take decisions and be responsible for that. You know what I mean? But I think as soon as she found out I was there. She wanted to inquire about the job. She was like, it's fine. You can just do that. But so Linda was fine because Vusi, the friend, was there, So yeah, that Vusi story, that's the Vusi story, how much I love that friend of mine, Vusi. So I had to study so I can be in the same level as Vusi, because Vusi was very smart, Vusi was very smart. So I had to study and later on watch the show. This is years later, where I'm enjoying the show. Now I'm going to practice, soccer practice, and no longer meet a lot of people because of the incident that happened with Precious's sister and the cooking, and everybody's just, it just has all these stories, all these stories that, are not true, you chick in your house, and people were running wild with all these stories, right? So I had to distance myself, started a shop, an entrepreneur came into the picture, boom, boom, boom. A lot of those things happened, right? So that's when I was introduced to MASHILE, from when I didn't know how to read to a point where I could read, enjoy the show. That I love the show because my mom enjoyed it. I was there because my mom enjoyed it. My mom was literally my best friend. So I enjoyed it because my mom enjoyed it. So even till today, whenever I think about my mom, and MASHILE will always be attached to the memory of my mom because of the show. I'm like, oh, this is wild because this used to happen, and this is the last thing I remember about my mom is a memory that has MASHILE and poetry in it. And funny thing is that even when I started writing music, yes, I still write music. For those of you who don't know, I still write music. That's where it started for me. Before I got onto the Nas, the Elmatic, whatever, Weezy dedication mixtape, that's where it started for me. You know what I mean? That's where it started. I enjoyed that, what my mom loved. I got in deep, the rhyme scheme in road poetry, and we grew that. When we got to high school, met people like SMP, and started refining my skill as far as creative writing, right? So that happened, and I'm grateful for that. To say I don't have a story, a particular reason why I love MASHILE, but the story of my mom that is attached to that, the love of that book. She really loved this so much, the show. She really loved the show so much, and every time I think about her, I always think about my MASHILE. And a part of self, sometimes when I look at her, I'm like, yo, I see my mom in that because of that, beautiful thing. So tell me what you think about what I just told you now. I know my spirit is a bit down today. Started late recording, I was going around thinking as to what we're going to record about today. It's Women Crush Wednesday would do, because I also have a story regarding that. So I thought that would be an interesting topic to have today, So tell me what you think on the comment section, and please don't forget to follow, comment, and let us know what you think of the episode on the comment section. Don't forget to follow, rate the show to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. Let's go on the break, and we'll talk more about Viola Davis when we come back. Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Nisako M. Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Karen. Listen, if you're a friend of Pod, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. The song of the day is Ituba by Dem Tudor, featuring some of the people that are interesting. I haven't had, for sure I've had music from the musical chef, Quish SA, and I also think that Emu is also one of the upcoming artists that's doing very great in whatever he's doing. And I think the Ituba song is part of the EP that Dem Tudor released, which also had the song called Iskubu. Iskubu was also a part of that. And Iskubu is sitting at 8 out of 8 million. So Iskubu is the first song. The second song, which is Ituba, is also doing well at Spotify for them too. So shout out to the guys in the piano scene. They're doing very great for themselves. And before we went on a break, we were talking about Women Crush Wednesday, and I did give you out that I was speaking about two very important women in my life that I deem important in my life rather. So it's MASHILE and MASHILE and VIOLA Davis, and we're about to talk about VIOLA Davis in a second. So for the people who don't know anything about MASHILE, so MASHILE is a South African born American actress, a writer, and performer who does poetry. As we discussed before, she went to study on Witwatersrand, which is Wits University, Witwatersrand University, and she, surprisingly, I wanted to bring this idea on Uguti, MASHILE and VIOLA Davis. I haven't put in so much thought into it, but I've realized Uguti MASHILE and VIOLA Davis actually were in the same place at some point, because VIOLA Davis studied in the Rhodes Island College, and which is also the best place of MASHILE. I thought that was interesting to bring up because VIOLA Davis studied his BA, Bachelor of Arts in Rhodes Island College, which is where MASHILE was born. So I just thought that was interesting to state. Yeah, so she was born in the States, but came to SA. But as we speak, MASHILE is about 44 years, if I'm not mistaken. Sky did say Uti, MASHILE is 44 years as we speak today. She was born on the 7th of February 1979. It's about 44 years, if I'm not mistaken. And VIOLA Davis is about 58 this year. She was born in the 11th of August 1965, which puts her about 58 years. And she studied, as I said, you could see she studied Bachelor of Arts in Rhodes Island College, which is the same place MASHILE. That's the same place, the best place for MASHILE. So going back to MASHILE, for those of you who don't know anything about the work she's done, I did mention Uguti, she did the show, the Latitude show back in the day. I'm not sure about the time frame, do forgive me for that. And she did Fierce Lights, she did Drawing the Line, she did Holiday Rwanda. She did Holiday Rwanda. So Holiday Rwanda was released in 2004, which featured Don Cheadle as well. It featured Don Cheadle, and Drawing the Line and Fierce released 2008. Gariza was released 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected by the. So the book that MASHILE wrote for herself, it's a book called In a Ribbon of Rhythm. That's a poetry book. I don't know if it's a poetry book. And she also wrote a book called Flying Above the Skies. Also another book she wrote. She also wrote Beyond Words. She also has the stand-up that she does. She was also, I think she was also the host in the choir competition where Vets and I think some of the choirs, I think UCT were doing in somewhere in Braamfontein. So she was also the host of that, kudos to him. And now I want us to talk about VIOLA Davis, since you got the story as to why I say Uguti MASHILE is my Woman Crush Wednesday. That was the story in the attachment with my mom. That's why I deemed it. So the story of VIOLA Davis, the first time I've heard of VIOLA Davis is I don't remember the time. I think it was around 2015-16. How to Get Away with Murder season. I don't know which season it was. Still new to it. I really loved the character in that. Really loved her. Then I went on to see her in more films such as The Help, The Woman Kingdom, and I was like, yo, I really, really love this woman, and she reminds me so much of my mom. And I think Dad again, she every role that she plays in these movies, because this is what I want to highlight. Not a lot of things you find about the life of VIOLA Davis. She's not out there So she gets to play all these interesting roles. So it's kind of hard to figure out who is Viola Davis outside of character, because nothing much is being said about his private life. And I think that's the best way to keep it interesting, to keep the movies that you make interesting, and I really felt that, and I resonate with that in so many levels, to say like she's one of the interesting characters, and I'm still yet to find the link between LEBOHANG and Viola Davis in my mind as to why I really like this remake. But I think a part of that reason is that I just mentioned to you now. So for those of you who don't know Viola Davis, I suggest you go out to check out, I think Tusombedu was also a part of The Woman Kingdom, which was released 2022. Tusombedu did a wonderful job in that. I think she was also nominated for some awards rather. And go out to check How to Get Away with Murder, amazing series. The Help, I think it's also a great movie. I'm still to watch Fences by her, and The Hunger Game, she's also in there. So shout out to Viola Davis. These are some of the accolades the lady has. She's won an Emmy Award, she's won a Grammy Award, she's won an Oscar and a Tony, amongst other awards. I'm still to share a lot of these things that she has won for herself. She's been in a couple of shows as well. I mean, there's not much to say about her life, but her work speaks for itself, and I think it's very important in the space where everybody's trying to be relevant and famous, and I think for people who haven't watched the movie Air, which is a representation of the story of Michael Jordan and how they did the Air Forces, the Air Force One's Michael B. Jordan, and like the story behind that, and how Michael Jordan was able to earn royalties for every sneaker that's being sold at the time. The story Viola Davis was playing she was playing the role of Michael Jordan's mom. Killed it. I think that's one of the roles. Was like, oh, Viola Davis is an amazing actress. I think if you haven't watched that Air movie, go out and watch it. It was released this year. You should go out and listen to that. And for me, those are the two women that I deem and I give the Woman Crush Wednesday. Do let us know in the comment section what you think about our selection. Give us your Woman Crush Wednesday in the comment section. Don't forget to follow, rate the show, or sure for each and every to get a notification for each and every time we release a new episode. I know today I was a bit down, spirit very down. Didn't do too much research. I wasn't feeling like it, but I wanted to stay committed to releasing an episode each and every day on our road to 100 episodes, so we can have that video hopefully. And I'm still working on getting those cameras and everything set up so we can bring you the live videos. And shout out to the people from Botswana, because the last 2 days I think I did mention on the previous 2 episodes that we were ranking second in Botswana, and yesterday we were ranking 5th, and even today we're still ranking 5th in Botswana. So shout out to the people in Botswana for listening to us. Really appreciate the love and support of the work that we do here in Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lisa Daddy Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. So I'm about to speak about the book of the day. So the book of the day, I think we should give it to LEBOHANG, In the Sky. I think we should give it to her. LEBOHANG, In the Sky. LEBOHANG, In the Sky is the book of the day. So for those of you who didn't catch the first segment, the song of the day is Ituba by Demtuda, which is sitting at 1.7, north of 1.7 million in Spotify, which featured a couple of artists such as The Musical Chef and Krish_SA on social media. Amazing gents. And I think I need to mention this before we leave. Shout out to Tyler. She was at the Jimmy Fallon show last night, and she chilled it. She performed, and she was representing the country as well. And I didn't know that, actually the story of Tyler is very unique. She has an Indian mother and a colored father, who the mother comes from Durban and the father is originally from Johannesburg, and that happened. Tyler came out. I was like, wow, that's interesting, not an everyday story that you hear, So I think it's very interesting. So a lot of people are still intrigued by, oh, what accent is that? Where's it from? And people get to learn more and more about SA, the culture, hip hop. Look at me saying hip hop, the culture of Amapiano as a whole. And the songs they've been dancing to, they get exposed to the artist as well. And I think at the moment in South Africa, we're doing well in the World Cup, the rugby. Shout out to Amapogo, shout out to even the cricket guys are doing well. We are killing it in that aspect. Shout out to Tyler as well, because she's a part of the conversation as well. Shout out to Black Coffee as well for the Madison Square Garden show that he did as the first black person like outside of the United States to do that. Shout out to him as well. A lot of people from the SA, because I saw Casper, I saw a lot of people. Spook Makatini was also there. As McG was also there, so shout out for the people that went out to support Black Coffee on that event. And I think I had to highlight that to all the people that are pushing it big and representing us on a greater scale, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think we've reached the end of our episode. I said that Song of the Day is Ituba by Dame Chuda, the musical chef, and Emo, amazing upcoming artist. That the book of the day is by MASHILE, which is In the Sky. In the Sky is the name of the book. In the Sky, the name of the book. Tell me what you think about the book. Oh, so I'm so sorry. I said In the Sky. It's flying above the sky. I meant to say it's flying above the sky. That's the name of the book. Flying above the sky. So the book of the day, flying above the sky. So shout out to you, man, for letting me know of that. I wasn't aware. I wasn't looking at it. So shout out to you. So do let us know in the comment section what you think about the episode, on what you think we need to touch on the guest we need to bring on the show. On the next show, I think we'll be doing something like getting tomorrow as our last show. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Okay, still have 2 more days to go. Still tough as hell because I'm releasing every episode a day, and like I'm getting fatigued because I'm doing this each and every day. Like I'm a radio host, but it's necessary for skills development and like trying to get them in the thing that I want to achieve. And whenever I have guests, it just becomes a free-flowing conversation between me and them. I think that's the ultimate goal that I want to reach as a host, and hopefully I can reach that before we do the 100 episode. I think from my end I'm done, man. I'm done. So, and I've always like done these shows and I forgot to give you all my social media handles and you guys don't follow, so I'm just gonna drop them. It's Lesotho_MH on every social media platform. Lesotho_MH on every social media platform. Don't forget to follow, like, and comment, and please, on all your streaming platforms, don't forget to rate the show and follow to get a notification for each and every time we release a new episode. Have a great one. I'm your host, Lesotho Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Let's meet on another exciting episode. Cheers.